Hi friends, how are you? I hope everyone is fine. Today we're going to discuss about two similar topics which have more similarities, which is eclampsia versus diffuse esophageal spasm. They have more similarities than differences. So let's go to the general characteristics of both of the topics. Eclampsia is an acquired motor disorder and it's a lower esophageal sphincter abnormal peristalsis. There will be abnormal peristalsis, so it's hard for food to move from esophagus to the stomach. And then there will be incomplete relaxations of lower esophageal sphincter. So when there is incomplete relaxation of lower esophageal sphincter, you will have a peristalsis of esophagus. So there will be no movements. So this is called a serious condition that affect your esophagus. When the lower esophageal sphincter, which is a muscular ring that closes off the esophagus from the stomachs. If you have eclampsia, the lower esophageal sphincter fail to open up during swallowing, which is supposed to do. This will back up of the food within your esophagus. So for the diffuse esophageal spasm, it's a non-peristaltic spontaneous contraction of esophageal body. So in this condition, the sphincter function normally. There will be normal lower esophageal sphincter. So in this condition, the esophageal spasm are painful and abnormal muscle contraction. There will be contractions, but in this case there will be no contractions. So but in diffuse esophageal spasm there will be painful and also abnormal contraction. Next one. Okay, in eclampsia, what is the causes? This is a general causes, which is adenocarcinoma of proximal stomachs. If you have adenocarcinoma of proximal stomach, you might have eclampsia. So, whereas for diffuse esophageal spasm, the most common is GERD. What is GERD? Gastroesophageal reflux disease. Particularly if it is led to scarring or narrowing of the esophagus, can lead to diffuse esophageal spasm. So next will be the clinical feature. The clinical feature for eclampsia and diffuse esophageal spasm, the similarities will be dysphagia. Dysphagia is a difficulty of swallowing. And next will be regurgitation. In regurgitations, when undigested or partially digested food comes back up through the esophagus and is re-swallowed or split out. So that is the meaning of regurgitations. So when there is regurgitation, that means you have eclampsia because there is no contractions of lower esophageal sphincter. So the food will come out and you might vomit or split it out. So next will be the chest pain and also weight loss. For the diffuse esophageal spasm, the clinical features are non-cardiac chest pain, which radiate to the jaws, arm and also back. And the most common is dysphagia.